I am the only constant.
Tzeentch, the Raven God, the changer of ways, is the chaos god of magic, change, evolution, destiny, lies, and trickery. He, like the other chaos gods, existed before the world came to be, and is said to have a plan for everything. To the barbarians of Norsca, he is the Raven God, and to the scholars of men, he is the great sorcerer, tempting them with unfathomable truths. He reigns from an impossible fortress deep inside the realm of chaos. Protected by a crystal labyrinth of inconceivable geometry is a hidden library, a hall of eternal dimensions that stores all the knowledge of the universe. Tzeentch stares for eons into the well of eternity for clues from the past and the future that will help him fulfill his schemes. One such scholar and academic that fell for the promises of knowledge and power was Egrimm van Horstmann, the most dangerous and infamous of all the Imperial College's few known traitors. He was one of the most intelligent and promising students of the White Order, knowing full well the scope and power of the White Wind of Hysh, one of the many winds of magic that stands as something antithetical to the flux of chaos. He had been corrupted for a long time as he ascended through the ranks, swearing his oaths of loyalty to the Supreme Patriarch of the Imperial Colleges and the Emperor alike. He would eventually become the Patriarch of the Light Order, stealing many secrets and corrupting many of their acolytes in his theft of the many Chaos relics that were hidden away in a vault from the last great invasion of Chaos. He managed to get away with a great two-headed Chaos dragon named Bodros, and now he searches the world for more hidden knowledge. Now to introduce a character that will be featured in the campaign, named by Pizza Flavored, one of my patrons. Vogon the Serpent. Those from Norsca respect few things, strength being the most common, and many are strong in the chaos wastelands of the north. Vogon was not one born with such strength. As a child, he was always plagued with nightmares and sickness. His body was frail and weak. He only survived due to his great intellect. He was able to manipulate his foes into destroying each other and was able to amass great power as he had some predilection for magical sorcery. Eventually, he would find Egrimm van Horstmann and really did lust after his knowledge. And so now he joins us on a great quest to acquire the greatest tenets of knowledge around the world. Now we have a unit named by Mr. Klaus, one of my other patrons. Anton Hirschstrom was a young Nordland noble with a penchant for magic and a love of power. He was kicked out of the Altdorf Colleges of Magic for unethical experiments. He returned home in shame to his family, who were greatly disappointed in him. Anton did not give up his dreams though, and using a book that a very kindly cloaked stranger in a disreputable back alley had given him, he decided to prove his worth. He found a spell that would give him ultimate power, but at a price: his family. Anton did not hesitate to cast his spells. In a sense, he did gain ultimate power, as he was torn apart and rendered down into pure Tzeentchian magic, which was then used to transform his entire extended family into Chaos Spawn. Now they wander around, being goaded into battle by any lord powerful enough to control them, like Egrimm van Horstmann. Now we begin our campaign. We begin with a mission called Don't Cut Yourself. We've got to take out an army belonging to the Druchii faction called the Deadwood Sentinels. The Druchii march from their hidey holes. They dare disrupt our search for arcane knowledge. Their dread souls would make a fine trophy for the Chaos Gods. Go and claim it. We'll be fighting them. And after we do that, we'll get ready to move down here to attack even more of their lands. We'll be burning down every location that we can that belongs to the Druchii, until finally we burn down their capital. While we will not be able to get every book, we could try to get as many arcane books as possible. If I pick up the one over here in Naggarond, it'll provide for me 20% more casualty replenishment for all characters. A big portion of our campaign will be spent around attacking specific factions for these arcane books in order to increase their own power. And we'll also gain +5 to horde growth. If we come on down over here to Ulthuan, we'll get a lot more magic, and if we want to recruit a new Chaos Sorcerer, they'll have +5 added to their rank. Then later, Mazda Mundi can die too. We'll become immune to attrition. Now that is really incredible, and we'll also gain 10% more campaign movement, so it's a great campaign if you want to see the world. Alright, it's time now for us to go kill some Druchii. It's going to be a bloody one. It is now time for our very first battle. Here is Egrimm van Horstmann in the flesh, the metal flesh. We're now moving into combat. Let's have a look at what they have right now. It's a very short battle, so I do need to go into slow motion briefly. We have our Chaos Marauders. They have only 15 armor, so naturally Dark Shards can easily destroy them. They have 35 missile damage. When it comes to what I have, I've got a few good abilities like Shem's Burning Gaze. I also have over here the Light of Battle. I can make a group of allies unbreakable. I do need to time it well. Then over here I've got Gifts of Chaos. There are 2 phases. Phase 2, I get a Fearsome Aura for 2 minutes. I get Fear, Vigor, Magic Resistance, and all of that good stuff. Over here, we have Eye of the Gods giving me a constant augment, +4 to melee attack and +5 to melee defense, and a 5% physical resistance. Elsewhere, what do we have? We've got some other units moving out. We've got Chaos Spawn. We've got our Chosen using halberds. The Horstmann family is on the way, and we have our Flock of Change, Chaos Knights, and of course we've got our Terror Wing, our Manticore moving around. We're trying to hit them every which way they go, and over here in the woods, we do have our Flesh Lovers. They are Chaos Marauders that have great weapons, and now we can begin our battle. Here it comes. There's a few volleys from their Dark Shards already. They're charging right in. They are outnumbered, but let me tell you, Dark Elves are tough. They can deal a lot of damage. There's a Shem's Burning Gaze. So we do have 2 spellcasters. Can that be a good thing? Absolutely. Why can it be a good thing? When you have a lot of magic, you can deal a lot of damage. And I do have a lot of magic, so I can deal a lot of damage. If you look at that leader's health, that Dreadlord is already pretty beat up. Even though we can't physically beat everything, we can at the very least hit them all with magical spells. And over here, we've got some Dark Riders who are fighting my Knights and my Manticore. They're not doing a good job at winning. It's our very first battle, one of many to come. A lot of them will be brief, some will be quite long. It really does depend, but because we do have a melee-centric army, we just clash. There is no kiting, there is no waiting. We just have to move in and attack right away. And already their leader is going down, though she does have 16 kills and that is only going up. It feels good to have some good Chaos Warriors going out to fight in our very first battle. It's been a very long time since I've played Chaos, and Egrimm is a very interesting character, a very cool character at that. Now, if we look over here, my Flesh Lovers moved out and flanked some enemies. We're still hitting their leader with spellcasting. We've got a Spirit Leech that is currently impacting her. Between Shem's Burning Gaze and Spirit Leech, they're done for. And we also have Champions of the Raven. That is a very cool group, and we'll talk a little bit more about them later on, but the battle is already over. You saw what we did here. We hit them at various locations, and now we're chasing every single one of them down. We just had to completely engage every unit they had. Otherwise, Dark Shards would have been able to hit me. So we spread out and we killed. It's over. We've won. That was a good victory. Now we can kill them, or we can kill them. But we're going to kill them in a fancy way for our dark gods. Here, we'll gain more favor. There we are. Goodbye, lady. You died well. We gained 2,000 more favor, giving me over 10,000 to begin with. And I've gained a Trickster's Shard. That's really handy to have. A shard of pure aqua. Its surface ripples with a malevolent curse bestowed upon it by the Trickster. Any magic users nearby will surely suffer. Good, they need to. Now at rank 2, we'll pick up Route Marcher. Done, because we need to be able to hit people. If we can't reach them, we can't hit them. Alright. Now it's time for me to form my encampment. Immune to attrition, more growth, all that good stuff. We could use more units too. I could use some Chaos Warhounds, and Marauder Horsemen can be okay. I'm gonna experiment with them. Maybe they'll be pretty good for what I need right now. Now for research, let's pick up the path to Ruination. We're on that dark, lonely road. When ultimate power is the prize, expect a perilous journey indeed, +1 to growth when encamped. And we also gain 5% more casualty replenishment, which we need a lot of if we want to fight back to back. Now we also get a unique building right over here, the Cabal. The majority of the warriors who protect the Cabal are willing slaves to Horstmann and his apprentices. They are ignorant men desperate for the chance to learn a fraction of their master's skill. It provides any hero +2 to their rank, +2 to any recruit rank for Chaos Warriors and Aspiring Champions, and we also get +1 to growth. Oh, and we're able to recruit Chaos Warriors, Champions of the Raven, and Chaos Knights, which frees up a few buildings I won't need to pick up. On our following turn, we'll come right over here to kill. There we are, some technology completed, if you want to call it technology. Now we can move over here to Kawark, or however you would pronounce that. I call it burned down. We lost only 113. We didn't need to fight that out. It was only a tiny location. Now I can get growth or more money. For now, I'm going to take more growth because I want to be able to upgrade my core horde building. We've also gained a very evil student, giving us plus 10% to research. Very nice. Okay, we'll take it. And while we are here, we can't move any further, so we'll form up our encampment again. I should probably use Vogon as an agent on the field, but for now, I'll keep him in my army. Let's upgrade Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech is fantastic. We can use it on their leaders to break them down quickly, especially because we don't have a melee lord or a hero to help fight them. Now we'll pick up Shem's Burning Gaze. If you remember what I spoke about when it came to Egrimm and his lore and what he studied, it's very logical in why he has light magic. And later, we can get Scheming Mastermind in only 3 more levels. That will get rid of enemy magic and their campaign movement range. That should be very good. It'll help me catch my foes, and quickly too. All right, let's get ready now and look at what we have over here for our friend. Magic resistance, 10% for all chaos sorcerers, 5% ward save for all of them too. Not bad. It's called Sorcerer of Tzeentch. And we also have over here a Skull of Katam. The skull of the late demonologist Katam continues to gibber in secrets that would drive the listener insane. It knows how to suck the winds away from the enemy. So we're able to reduce their power recharge rate. Again, all of these magical things benefit me heavily. And we'll take up one more group of Chaos Warhounds and over here Marauder Horsemen. We can upgrade one building, my tribal relic, over into a trial pit, giving me more options when it comes to Chaos Warhounds or Chaos Marauders or even Marauder Horsemen. Their upkeep will go down, which is really what I want. But we'll build that later. I've got to move closer to my foes. It's going to be quite an action-packed campaign because we've got to move quickly. Let's come over here to the Black Pillar, then we'll double back a little bit and head over to the east. We've got to destroy one faction at a time. That'll be easier for me, I think. Then we'll come back down where we'll have a lot more money or favor. I'll just call it money. Magic money. Funny magic money. All right, how much favor are you going to cost me? Only 1,000? Oh, you're worthwhile. Upkeep will go down by a further 10% for all of my units. And I can recruit one more unit. I think I'll take one more group of Chaos Marauders. I mean, they're very cheap to have. We might as well pick them up. It is now time for another battle. We have many Dark Elves to kill. Over here, for my Champions of the Raven that I said that I would talk about, we've got the Mark of Tzeentch, providing an increase to my Winds of Magic power reserves and also my power recharge rate. When it comes to what they have a Dreadlord using hybrid weaponry, and they even have a few Black Ark Corsairs who have hand bows. Those deal 38 missile damage, which is quite a bit. They have quite a few Dark Shards, but what do I have? I've got Chaos Warhounds waiting in the trees, and also Marauder Horsemen. On the right flank, I'll be sending in my Flock of Change and also my Chaos Spawn. They're going to be able to sink right into them because I've got my Chaos Marauders and all of my other infantry charging right in. On my left and right flanks, I've got great weapons and also Chaos Warriors. Right in the middle, I have my Champions of the Raven who are going to help out my Chaos Marauders. And my 2 leaders, Vogon and also Egrimm, they're going to use spellcasting to go after the enemy commander. If they do that, he's going to be in trouble. And naturally, we have our Terror Wing, our Manticore, flying in from behind. If we can make them second guess themselves or move around and distract them so that we can actually meet them in melee combat, that works out to my favor. But here they come. Everyone is moving in. It's now time to deal some serious damage. Look at that devastating blow. He's already been knocked down for a large chunk of his health, and now we get to watch all of our Marauders charge in. It's time to cut down some Druki. And already my Manticore is charging in too, going after some Dark Shards, keeping them busy. We also have Marauder Horsemen who are moving in. They'll be moving in momentarily. Right now they're throwing in some javelins, but later we're just going to have them fight in melee combat. Here's all of my units now engaging them. Over here we do have our Chosen using halberds. Chosen are no joke. They can deal so much damage and they can stay in a battle for a long period of time. It's just really about finding the right place to put them. There's another Shem's Burning Gaze and another Spirit Leech. Their leader is now almost dead. In a few more hits he'll be gone, or at the very least he'll want to break. And here we go right now. My Champions of the Raven are supporting our leader, and Egrimm is even fighting quite well. And here comes our Chaos Spawn. They're ripping right through them from their flank. If we zoom out, we can look at where they're being hit, which is everywhere. We're now beginning to fold around them. My Chaos Knights are now moving in. We've got my Manticore who's chased away some Dark Shards. There's another Shim's Burning Gaze. It never does end. Whenever you have a great spellcasting leader, you could deal so much damage. And what do we have over here? We've got Blackguard of Nagaron. 39 kills. I mean, these are by far their most elite infantry unit outside of their executioners, but they're not going to be able to hold up either. Sure, they can deal a lot of damage to, like, let's say my Chaos Spawn, but it doesn't really matter. When it comes to what is happening right now, it looks like we've broken a lot of them. There's only going to be a few holdouts, and even then, they're just going to break too. Then we could chase them all down. It looks like they've all broken, so we get to cut them all down right away. No survivors. We kill them now, or we sacrifice them to the Dark Gods later. Either way, they're dying. It was a brief battle. Battles will become longer whenever we get higher leveled enemy commanders, but for right now, you can see how many we've taken down. It's quite a few. We completely encircled them. Their leader was wiped out, and now we're just going to chase after anyone who remains. That was a bloody battle for Tzeentch. We gained over 6,000 favor from that one battle, and we've gone up to a higher rank. We're wealthier and we're better off than we were before. We lost only 159. We hit them so quickly, they had no chance to really react. Having all that melee really did help out. And again, we'll take more growth. Now that feels really good. We've gained another item, the Forbidden Rod. This marble and golden laced artifact can summon the winds of magic, but at a cost to the user. It could be handy. We were using our spellcasting the entire time to kill their leader off. Now what do I want over here? Boon of Magic, improved power recharge rate, and an increase in my power reserves too. A net of Almond Talk would be even handier, I think, for the very beginning. Or Foz protection. Yeah, we'll take the net for right now. If I can isolate any of their ranged or mounted units, I mean, that would really allow me to quickly kill them off. And over here for Vogon, what am I going to pick up for you, my friend? Spirit Leech rank 2? That could be handy, sure. We'll take it. I do like to upgrade that spell. Now that we're done here, what can we do? We can replenish. And in time, we'll move on over to Dargoth. We have a new mission. Okay, it's called Steal and Destroy. They want me to raise or sack the Great Arena. The settlement offends our masters. Steal what you can and then bring fire to all. Oh, I'll be doing that. Now let's move over here. I can upgrade my core building over into a Warband of Chaos. Again, getting rid of more upkeep. Our early game is going to be quite savage and bloody. Oh, you're lucky I can't reach you, but look at their tiny army. I'm sure they'll get more in like one more turn, but she's done for. I know in time they'll upgrade and have bigger armies, but for such a big early game start, it's going to be great to just really feel like an actual Warband of Chaos. I mean, we can pillage, we can roam and do what we want. We're not having to fight for survival just to attack our foes. And while we are here, let's upgrade. Let's see, what else will that give me? One more recruitment point or slot, one more growth, and more corruption. I need all of that. And we could even upgrade another building too, to a Proving Grounds. We'll be able to get Hell Riders of Slaanesh, Marauder Horsemasters, or Censors of Nurgle. Now that's really cool. We'll have to wait to pick those up. But, oh, look at that little bit of fluff here. Nurgle's Pestilent Glory. That's all the lore you need to know about that. And over here, Hell Riders bear the Dark Prince's mark and aspire to ride one of their master's demonic steeds. Oh yeah, this will be cool to see. We'll try to pick one up when we can. But for now, we have a battle to fight. A very brief one. Ooh, it did a lot of damage to my army. I'll have to be mindful that I could lose a lot. I can't afford to. If I do, I'll spend more time trying to recuperate. Goodbye, Yondis. We've gained a new trait, Despoiler. This one will kill until everything that is yours becomes theirs. Even then, they will not stop until death intervenes. Enemy siege holdout time down by 1 turn. Good. And at rank 5, we can put another point into another spell. We'll pick up Boon of Magic. Tzeentch is the master of magic, and he rewards sorcerers who breathe deep of the winds of magic with a Boon of Sorcerer's power. That's a great one to have. Alright, so now we can form up our encampment again. I can't recruit anything new yet because I don't want to. But later, we'll see about getting more knights or whatever else that we can whenever we have more building slots. What I have here is called Tabletop Caps, and it kind of provides a limit on what you can pick out for the AI too, so that you're not just like spamming all greatswords or whatever. It adds a very interesting challenge, and your elites will truly feel like they're elite units. Okay, let's pick up our proving grounds. The marauders spar upon the bloody field, desperately hoping that the ruinous ones will notice and perhaps show their favor. Yeah, very true. More technology researched. Skulls for the Skull Throne. Yep, that took a lot of brilliant minds to come up with what we have here. Khorne desires skulls, so gifts his followers with the initiative to find them, every single one. Now we gain more income from post-battle loot. It goes up by 10%. That's pretty good. Alright, we're not close to any foes yet. Let's hop on over to Nagrar. I'm telling you, we're just going to burn down everything. We'll probably have to find out the battle over here in the Frozen City. We could go on to burn down other locations, but it really does depend. Now for research, we'll pick up, let's see here. Rituals of Corruption, 5 turns total. We'll get 10% more income from burning down locations. Rituals performed to please the gods may see an increase in favor. Good to know. It's like knowing your forecast. Sometimes it's better to fight out the battle personally. So now, over here in this little town, we're fighting it out. We do have more Chaos Marauders than before. We have our Chaos Knights, Chaos Spawn, and our Manticore moving in. Their Dark Riders are about to engage. Further out, we've got our Marauder Horsemen. They're waiting. They don't really have much of a chance, but if I auto-resolve, I'll lose much more than I would like to. Early on, every soldier does count. There we go. Our heavily armored Chaos Knights are not going to lose a battle like that, especially when they have help from my Chaos Spawn. Now it's time to hit a few of their Dark Shards in just a minute. There's a Shem's Burning Gaze hitting their spellcasting leader. They also have a Death Hag too. Those are quite deadly. Oh, shoot all you want. We're about to get them though. All of you are heavily outnumbered. For the first time playing as Chaos or whatever Horde faction, I actually do feel like a proper Horde. And it feels really good. There's a few more Dark Riders out there. I'm not too worried about them. There goes my Manticore, also called the Terror Wing. Now we're moving in. There's a Flock of Doom, so you're of Beast Magic, I see. Now she's charging in. There's a net from Egrimm keeping down a few of those Dark Riders. We want to be able to keep them stationary so that we can hit them. If we zoom out right now, we can see where we've engaged all of them. They're mostly broken. We've got, what, 4 groups over here total. 3 groups of Dark Shards who are now being attacked by Marauder Horsemen. There goes their entire ranged element. It's all gone. We've cut down everyone else. There's only a few left. It's meant to be a very brief battle, and it certainly is. She's using another spell. It doesn't really mean too much, though. Another Flock of Doom won't do too much to us. Pretty soon, we're about to have a proper siege battle. When we do, it'll take much more time, and it will be much more difficult because I don't have time to wait for siege towers or battering rams. I'll have to go in right away. But the battle is won. They've been broken, and we just frickin' Tzeentched them all over the map. They got Zeeted? Zeeted is a good phrase for it. It's like yeeted, but Tzeentchy. Yeah, we'll go with that. Anyway, we're just kicking them around the map now, but we've won. It's over. That was a very brief battle, but we had to do it. If I didn't do it, I would lose potentially 200 to 300 of my soldiers, and I don't need that right now. Not in my life. All right, let's move on. We'll burn it down too, because we're getting a lot of favor from burning down towns. Lords over Druki, so now we gain +3 to leadership when fighting them, which is great because we're already winning. All right, for your next ability, what am I going to give you, Egrimm? Scheming Mastermind. I would be so grateful for your cooperation in this, my lord. I do so hate to be disappointed. There we go. We can reduce their movement and their magic. Now for you, Vogon, I'm going to give you life leeching. We could use more Winds of Magic, and if your recharge rate goes up, even better. These two have made quite the combo. Alright, so now we just need to form up our camp. We'll be over here in maybe 2 turns. I don't know if they'll have a new army, but probably not. I've burned down much of what they do have. That's fantastic. There are some Norsemen close by, but I don't really know what they're up to. The Frozen City needs to fall. That's why we're charging in right now. We've got to hit every portion of their walls possible. If we do not do so, we're not gonna have a chance in hell. Or in chaos. We have a bunch of dark shards on the walls, and my terror wing is taking a lot of damage just by charging in, but it's a great way to kill many of them and to distract them. In fact, we can focus on our terror wing as everyone begins to move towards the walls here. Let me tell you, closer to tabletop for chaos feels really good. Usually, I'm not a fan of any horde gameplay, but I've got to tell you, this campaign has been some of the most fun I've had in a very long time. I feel like a real horde, I feel strong, I feel good, I know my limits, I know what to do. 17 kills already by my terror wing at 290 weapon strength, 68 for a charge bonus, armor piercing damage. Now our mini soldiers, our mini warriors are climbing onto the walls. Sure, a few have died here and there, but you know, it's all for chaos, it's all for Tzeentch. He knows all. He's like Santa. Yeah, I'm not gonna actually add on to that. He's like Santa. If he had like, I don't know, flames coming out of his face and a bird head. If it wasn't for the terror wing, who knows how many we would have lost. And of course, whenever you climb up on walls, you begin to tire out, and now our warriors are winded, but that's okay. They're fighting in melee combat. That's what I wanted them to do. These are Chaos Warriors, and they need to take down some of these blasted enemies of ours. I've been hunting down this faction for quite some time. Now they're just getting completely slaughtered. Their way of life is about to be wiped out. They're about to become a memory, and memories are eventually forgotten. If I could, I'd build the biggest statue to Tzeentch ever right here. Here comes another attack. A good Shem's burning gaze hitting a few of them. You know who's close by then. Oh, he's here. The champions of the Raven too are never too far from Egrimm van Horstmann. So here they come right now, charging in. These Druki have no idea what to do. If you thought high elves were a problem, imagine what I can do to you. Vogon the Serpent is close by. He's a scary fellow. Egrimm van Horstmann is at 21 kills. There's a bit of fluff for him. Whoa, oh world, the age of mortals is coming to an end. 23 kills now, it's only going up. If we go look over here, we're trying to break down their gatehouse. If we're able to do that, we can then flank many of their ranged units. If we look at what they have back over here, they have their Dreadlord with a sword and crossbow. He's not going to be long for the world. My Manticore is still charging in, getting rid of a few more dark shards. Sure, they can deal some damage, but they're being interrupted by a large bestial creature. The gates are open. Hello, it's me. They're being hit on two sides now. I'm charging in right away with my Champions of the Raven and my Chaos Marauders, so that they're having to defend from two different sides. Left or right, choose your sword, because you're about to get hacked apart. And you know, as a Druki, there is no reprieve here. There is no chance of mercy. I don't know what happens to your prisoners of war, right? When it comes to the High Elves and if they capture Druki, but here, no mercy, no quarter will ever be shown. So you've got to imagine everyone fights because they know if they give up, they'll just die. They'll be crucified, beheaded, tortured, used for whatever menial games they could conceive. On the walls, they're still being cut down. The Chaos Warriors are destroying these bleak swords and dark shards. You can look at how they're not getting very far. These imposing juggernauts of might are not standing down. They're chasing a few of them away. They're trying to get away. It's not really working out for them. We have a look. We've broken through. We now have mounted units who are also flooding inside of their town. They once had a town. Now it belongs to me. It's free real estate. I'm gonna build a Tzeentch cheese here. Yeah. That sounds good. But the battle is over. We've won. My Terror Wing was nearly destroyed. We're now going after their leader, who has 2 kills. It is now on the ground. That's a iconic sight. It'll be a familiar one. It's over. We've won. The frozen city now belongs to us. We'll burn it all down. Every stone will be broken. We took a big town from them. Their only big town left. In fact, their only town. We lost over 200, but it was worthwhile. I could have waited for 1 or 2 more turns if I wanted siege towers or a ram, but no, time is on my side right now. We'll keep on taking growth. Now that one faction is gone, we can move back. I could go fight these fellas up north, but I don't really need to. Let them remain. I wonder how that's going to change up the power dynamic when I destroy the Dark Elves, or most of them. Now, what do I want over here? Cheaper units? I mean, that would help a lot. The Changer of Ways? Yeah, there's a lot that I could utilize. Why don't we take Secrets of the Raven God? The demons of Tzeentch no doubt whisper their timeless secrets into Horstmann's sleeping mind, and his powers grow strong. There we go, we can put 1 more point into it. The amount of money, of favor that I'll gain after each battle will only continue to grow. Now, what am I going to give you? Soul Blight, Doom, and Darkness? If I want to break them, sure, that would be the right choice to make. So I will choose it. And we can move down here. It'll take me a few turns, but we'll make it to the west and begin to fight more Druki. Yeah, there's really not too much for me to bother with. Over to the east, we've got the ag holes, but I don't really care for them too much. Now, what can I upgrade? I can upgrade my main building to an Unholy Legion. Upkeep will go down again by 10%. Not bad. If we get that out the way early on, we can build up a bunch of really cool buildings. Shrine of Corn, maybe not. Shrine of Tzeentch, I do want that. We completed more technology. Now, what am I going to pick up? I could go further down here, but I would like to pick up even more favor before I do that. Cheaper Marauders could be handy depending on what's happening, or if I'm beginning a new army. And I was able to get 2 new units. Centaurs of Nurgle. I could get my Slaaneshi Riders, but that would take 2 turns. I'll wait until I need 2 turns to pass. What do we have over here? Swarm of Flies. So any enemies close by will have a -5 to their melee attack. And we have a bit of fluff. Flies surround this rotting creature, making combat even harder as a swarm buzzes into mouths, ears, and other vulnerable orifices. That's pretty horrific. But now they're on our side. Yeah, we'll head over here to Quark, and then we'll move down. They shouldn't really have too much, and then we can go over here to Harganeth, Spite Reach, Grond, and pretty soon we'll be ready to go fight the Witch King. He shouldn't be too powerful yet. I do have a mod to level up AI Lords, but still, we've been fighting a lot. It looks like we've got a pretty challenging battle ahead of us. They're already beginning to compile their defenses. Over here, we've got to fight the Crone. She's rank 8. I haven't seen you in a very long time, Grandma. I don't like you. We're gonna have to fight it out. Okay, let's go in. It's time for another big fight. It is now time to take on the Crone, everyone's favorite G-MILF that we love to fear. She's quite challenging, so I do expect to lose quite a few soldiers. It's a fairly large army. Thankfully, many of them are very tired, or they should all be very tired. That means they will not be as effectual in the actual battle. They do have dark shards, and always, my goal is to try to engage all of them. If I don't, their ranged units could easily destroy all that I have. It wouldn't be good or easy for me. Here's a few Dread Spears. They do have a unique group around here called Sisters of Slaughter. Look at that, 54 weapon strength. They also have over here, Dance of Death. It's a debuff, -4 to melee defense, leadership, and a higher ability recharge rate. Not by much, but it could make a difference. But here we come right now. I've got my Centaurs of Nurgle. They're going to help debuff my enemies, and they're charging in. They're able to deal a lot of damage. I've got my typical melee formation. I've got all of my mounted units over there on the right flank. They'll be moving in after we engage. It's about time. I wonder, do you have a conduit or whatever that ability is called that blows up and kills a lot of units? Oh, they do. There we go. That's a lot of dead soldiers. Wow. Pretty cruel of you, by the way. What do we have over here? What is that called? Okay, the Gaze of Cain, providing more leadership, weapon damage, and melee attack. They all rampage and go crazy. I told you, that Crone. She's very spiteful. But we've already engaged most of their formation. We don't need to worry about too many more of them. We have our Warhounds and Marauders, in addition to our Knights moving in. There's my Manticore also going after Sisters of Slaughter. There's a Shim's Burning Gaze ripping right through their formation. I'll always use whatever spells I can, whenever I can. Thankfully, it's not too hard to spot Egrimm. There's a Spirit Leech. Oh no, man, you should not be fighting her. That is a really bad idea. Look at that. She nearly killed him. It didn't take much. Maybe in like 1 or 2 more hits, she would have killed him. Egrimm is having to move away too, which means we've got to move in our Chosen. The Chosen are coming to engage her because we need to stop her from killing our leaders. I mean, she's just charging around, cutting down my poor Marauders. Right over here, we have most of their units beginning to waver and break. We still have a few Dark Shards who are not being attacked. Over here is one group that's beginning to flee. They're done for. They've been hacked apart. Warhounds, Marauders, Manticores, everyone is moving in. There's another attack from Egrimm, ripping right through them. There's my Chaos Spawn, dealing a lot of damage. They do have Executioners right over here. A very elite group, but they never got a chance to really shine. I didn't permit them. The battle is over. We've got a net to bind them down so that we can actually kill them. It's all about the route. But look at how many have died already. The crow nearly wiped out our sorcerer. That was really close, man. When I saw that, my heart just stopped for a brief moment, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. Well, Grandma, goodbye. 320 lost. We've got another army to fight. Oh, that's a really good benefit. It'll impact him more whenever he's got a dragon. Armor piercing damage up by 20, melee attack up by 5. The trouble with Knights of Debauchery always comes the day after. Not so much hungover as hanged. Ha, I like it. And over here, an upgrade to our previous trait, Despoiler. We're now a Slaughterer. So now their holdout time goes down by another turn for a total of -2.
You need a boon.
Oh, we took some heavy hits. I've got to fight another army now. That's why we need a lot of replenishment. And hold on. We'll get the Lure of Dark Promises because it'll give me 1 more growth and 5% more to my replenishment. There we are. Now at rank 8, what am I going to give you? We could use more money, sure. Post-battle loot is fantastic. But we should probably benefit our units. Yeah, just a little bit. We'll take the Changer of Ways. I can put another point into it, elevating my starting magic amount by a further 10. Quite handy. Now it's time for me to end my turn, but because we're going to need to replenish and we're actually not losing money, we could spend our time here picking up another unit. Let's get Hell Riders of Slaanesh. I might even get 2 of them. Horse Masters are fine, but come on now. We're trying to be thematic. There we go. There's no other new units I want or can get. There's only a finite amount. Now, let's patch up and go back to battle in the Black Pillar. Then we can move over here and hopefully take on Har'Gaunth. We just need about 1 more turn to be fully patched up. And Vogon, you leveled up. Good. I'll put my additional point over into Doom and Darkness. I try to maximize any spells I pick up. If I'm going to have them, they better be darn good. Yeah, we'll put 1 more point into it, then later we'll get Evasion. I would like to get some more spells over here to the right, like Arcane Conduit. For my Horde upgrade, I think I'll wait to pick up an actual building. We'll be able to build one on our following turn. Now, what I get is a big question. There's a lot that I can pick from because I do have a tier 4 building already. And that's really cool because usually it takes forever to unlock anything for a Horde, but here, we've got it pretty fast. Now, if I get a temple to Tzeentch, my god, my magic will go up and I'll continue to reduce enemy magic. If I do that, they won't be able to bother me with their spell casting, but me, I'll be able to do a lot more. But there's a few other options too. A good exalted hero would be neat, or trolls, or even over here, Champions of the Raven, we could get more of them. Bloodgrounds would allow me to get what? Hordes? Hordes are really great, and I'll tell you why. As you might see over here, you'll get 200 units per group. 200 units per group means that you can actually tactically hold someone in position. One spell won't wipe them out completely. Anyway, let's get ready for a new battle. We've got one to fight at the Black Pillar. They might even flee, I have no idea, but we're about to find out. I just want to spend one more turn patching up, then we can go fight. Now it's time to fight for the Black Pillar. We're leading our formation into the battle. We've got our Marauders, our Censors of Nurgle, Flesh Lovers. On each flank we have different units. We're going to really make a mark. Oh, there's a good miscasting. I like to use my upgraded Spirit Leech when I can. They've got a Dreadlord taking a lot of damage. Over here I have many units hidden away. Right over here, my Hell Riders of Slaanesh. If you have not seen them, let me show you. They're pretty crazy to look at. They're very cool though. They've got a lot of, you know, bling. They're pretty fancy in comparison to any standard group of Marauders. And after that, whenever we engage all of them, we can send them in. It's more melee cav. They'll be able to hit any bleak swords from behind or even dark shards, and they'll probably die pretty fast. Oh, their army's actually fresh for once. That might be an issue for me. Usually they're not. There you go, Vogon. You know what to do. Oh, another devastating spell. That killed so many of my warriors. Every single time I try to keep my people intact, that happens to them. There goes my Terror Wing. Everyone is charging in right now. You can see us just trying to keep them all busy. It's a beautiful battle. I really enjoy every fight that we've had so far. And there's another Shem's Burning Gaze. The lighting here is, in particular, quite lovely. As I'm watching carnage unfold, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Good scenery. Not bad. Their leader is nearly dead already. He's not feeling so good. He's like, oh man, I'm done for. You're right, you are. There comes all of my Warhounds and my Hell Riders too. These Dark Shards don't know what hit them. Let's zoom out real quick and have a look. Right over here is where we've got a pocket of soldiers still very much alive. These bleak swords are now being hit by a charge from my flock of change. My Hell Riders are now moving in, hitting other targets. Corsairs and other units like bleak swords and dread spears. Back here is where we have a lot of blasted dark shards, but my warhounds are now attacking them. They have no chance at all. I bet whenever we go fight the lizard men, we're gonna be in trouble. Those guys are tough to beat. Here, I can overpower a bunch of dark elves, but elsewhere, who knows what. I'm using a Spirit Leech for fun, just because their leader's like pretty much done for, so I might as well use it on some like unit nearby. Most of their units are now beginning to crack and break. There's not very many left. For those who are left, they're being hit from behind by all of my charges. The Hell Riders are quickly making swift work of them. There goes a pack of Chaos Spawn, too. The battle's over. We've won. We just need to chase down those who remain. The Black Pillar now belongs to Tzeentch. These battles are getting deadlier. I lost a lot more that time, over 400. We still won, but they're bringing in more elite units. We gained over 6,000 favor. We can raise again to continue to prosper when it comes to our growth. Goodbye, Dinar. A potion of strength I don't really need it, but we could save it for another champion later. And it wouldn't hurt to, you know, use it. Okay, what more do I need? I have a lot of magic. The Cabal could be handy for my Chaos Warriors. I could use more of them. Sword of Change, rank 17. Golden Eye of Tzeentch, 13. And Spell Familiar. Oh, that's really cool. Rank 10. Alright, I'm going to pick up Pause Protection. Or actually, I've been overcasting quite a bit, so I'll take that. I usually don't, but I don't know why. I'm feeling more risky than usual. Maybe it's the faction I'm playing. And while we wait here, look at that replenishment. Not bad. I don't know what I'm going to build yet. It's been a really hard choice. I really want a Chaos Giant, and I have no idea why. They're pretty old school, but I really do want one. Other options would be another Sorcerer. No, we're not going to do that. Bloodgrounds would be cool, though. That would be great. And Trolls would be ideal, but I would need one more turn to grow there. But I think for right now, a good old Giant to help out in the middle of my formation would be pretty darn cool. I'll take that. Giants stride the world, mostly in Intemperate Stupor, or in An. Those that wander too far north are enslaved and corrupted by chaos. True. That is going to happen to them. Alright, there goes my money. And in about 2 more turns, we could probably go to Spite Reach. I just need to patch up. But they'll probably have another army ready for me. I mean, look at how far we've come. We've burned down one entire faction. We're about to destroy another. Then we'll probably destroy a third before we finally get over here to fight the Witch King. We're one step closer to taking down Harganneth. Oh, look at that independent. More of a campaign movement range. That's always great to have. Now, while we're here, we're still patching up. We could go over to fight Beastmen, then later those at Spite Reach. Or I could leave the Beastmen alone and go to Spite Reach. Yeah, we'll do that. Goodbye. I've only got a tiny garrison. You took out a lot of my soldiers. My warriors. Oh, here we go. 1 regiment of renown. The Demon Spew. It's a good unit. We have a new right unlocked. And what's over here? Confident attacker, more leadership, and a larger ore size when attacking. Not bad. Alright, so we're going to form our encampment right now. At rank 10, we can get our spell familiar. Well, I do not have Barona's Time Warp. That can wait for right now. I don't need it. Instead, I would like to get over here to Champion of Tzeentch. So I'll put another point into the Cabal. There we are. Now for you, Vogon, at rank 7, I'm going to give to you another point into Doom and Darkness. Breaking a unit at a critical juncture could really change up a battle. Now, how long would it take for me to recruit my giant? What do we have over here? 2 turns. Alright, good to know. We'll get one. We could do it now. I mean, we've got to go after Grond. Grond has a very large army. But what right can I get? Awakened Occults. Okay. So a Chaos Sorcerer would be able to go out there to act. More corruption. And they've got a higher chance to succeed. I'll probably have to recruit a new Sorcerer eventually to work as my field agent. Okay. Now, what am I going to get rid of while we're out here? I do have a lot of mounted units. Warhounds, goodbye. You're not bad, but I want my giant right now. There we go. I mean, again, I do have a lot of mounted units. Warhounds are not bad, but I would like to try out my Demon Spew. They'll probably deal a lot of damage on the walls. It looks like right now I'm not going to have a chance to rest up. They have a large army, and they're here to hunt me down. Pretty soon I'll be able to recruit a new army, then we'll have 2 of them. If I could use my weaker one to potentially trounce any smaller towns while I go after larger towns with my main army, that would be ideal. Okay, so they have a lot more mounted units, a lot of dark shards as usual. I mean, 35 missile damage is a lot. And we do know that they've got murderous prowess too. That's pretty good. Well, let's go fight them. Oh yeah, Black Ark Corsairs deal a lot of damage in combat. What do you have? The Winds of Pain? Yep, that did trigger. I've got plenty of magic myself. Another Dark Elf army attempting to survive. I doubt it's going to work out. There's a miscast, unfortunately. Those do deal a lot of damage, but I can't help myself. I've got to hit what I can. Over here we have Dark Riders actually charging through the middle of their formation. There's a Shem's Burning Gaze now heading towards their leader. That was a lot of damage. She's of the Dark School of Magic. There's my Net of Amen Tak, keeping a group of Dark Riders immobilized. Let's go into slow motion only briefly real quick to go over everything that we're doing. So there's my main formation now, about to engage all of them. Over here we have our Hell Riders, and over there we've got our Manticore with our Chaos Knights too. So there's going to be some initial damage done in their Alpha Strikes where they charge in, but after that, they're immobilized and they're going to be surrounded too. Their armies are getting more powerful. There's one spell ripping right through my formation, not really dealing too much damage, but enough to bother us, sure. There's Egrimm. fighting a lot of Dark Riders and other units too. There's a bit more spell casting, reducing our enemy's integrity. Power of Darkness causes damage to self. Okay, so you're damaging them to get more magical power. Good thing for you, I can diminish your magical power and also gain more myself. So back here, I've got my Flock of Change. They're moving in. There's another attack from their spellcaster. Ripping through my formation. That was probably a much better one. Now these Dark Shards are dying. More Dark Riders are moving in. There's another Shim's Burning Gaze. I've got my Chaos Spawn close by. They have many Corsairs. Corsairs are quite damaging. They're not easy to take on. Let's zoom out real quick because there's just a lot happening. Oh, another spell. She's just really sending them out. We don't usually deal with that too often. Usually it's me doing that, but right now she's the one doling them out. I'm doing what I can to get rid of her. If you look at her, she's right over here and quite damaged. There's another Spirit Leech reducing her further. There's only so much vitality to suck out. And what do we have over here? The first Falling Guard. They're at 18 kills. Right over here, we've got the first cohort of Flesh Lovers. Over 20 kills right now. The Bleak Swords have broken. They have 70 remaining and only going down. Back here, we've got Dread Spears who barely have any kills at all. When I have to go overseas, it'll give the AI a chance to really build up. It's only because I'm rushing everyone in the very beginning. Most of them are now dead. There's only a few left. You can see that right now it's just a few Dark Shards. Though over here, they're actually winning a fight against my Chaos Marauders. You can see how well they can do whenever I do not help out my units. I mean, we have a lot of synergy that permits us to do well. But as one group, only barely survived because all of them broke. There they go. Now we get to chase them all down. But that is another battle complete. We've got more to fight too. We're not done yet. A good close victory. My God, that could have turned out really horribly for me, but it did turn out quite well. Okay, we'll take what then? More favor, you say? Sure. I've got the time to kill all of them, bit by bit. We take no prisoners. I mean, there's no option for that. We just kill. Will we kill in a dramatic way, wearing our good clothes, or just kind of cut them down? I don't know. Yeah, sure, we don't need to fight. You can go do your own thing. You can rebuild those lands I've been burning down. Humans can live wherever now. Okay. We won. We just need one more turn to get our giant. Let's have a look. You've gained bold. We're not quite at a new level yet. Oh, you still have quite a few units too. And over here at Hargoneth, I bet they have a lot of units too. So we're not quite there, but pretty soon we'll be ready to go to Nagaron. We'll probably be, what, level 12 by then. Now that we're about to attack Grand, we also need to look at our spell familiar. Now I understand. I've never dealt with that before, where a bound thing could give me some manner of spell, but it's really cool. Okay, spell familiar memorizes a spell on its master's behalf, constantly rehearsing for its big moment until it is called upon to share its arcane knowledge. Alright, I like that a lot. Good to know, I've just never seen that. Usually when you have like fluff, it's just meant to like set the mood or to let you know a little bit about the lore, but it's actually describing what it does. Not bad. Okay, let's go destroy another Dark Elf faction. Faction number 2. I mean, it's only part 1 and 2 factions are about to be gone. That's really cool. It is now time to take down Grand. Here's where things get really challenging for me. It's whenever I'm besieging a town. I'm a horde. Clearly, whenever they begin to build up walls, I'm going to have a much harder time. And now we have a Chaos Giant. It's been a very long time since I've been able to use one, so I wanted to pick one up. They're pretty gross. There's all of my Chaos Warriors and other champions behind them, just waiting for their chance to strike. I know that we're going to lose a lot, but I didn't want to give up my attack. I did not want to stop with my assaults just yet. I want to be able to burn down Grand and then move on. After I lose a few Chaos Marauders, I'll pick up some Chaos Warriors. There's my Manticore again, just charging right in. We've got to use them to distract all of those Dark Shards. Some will still be attacking. That's where we lose a lot, but at the very least we can get rid of some of them. It's been pretty wild to burn down so many enemies and so quickly, but I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm a fairly aggressive player in my campaigns. Not always true, but I usually tend to throw myself into the frickin' meat grinder. There's my giant. I wanted my giant to hit that front gate and break it down. Unless you have like focused enemy attacks on one giant, they can deal a lot of damage over time or just soak up some damage. Oh, that was a bit of friendly fire. Which means they've got some more dark shards over here attacking and artillery. Yeah, right over here. That artillery, I'm sure, will deal a lot of damage. It finally feels like they have a proper army for fighting me. Oh, there's my giant. He's like, oh, hi. Oh, they closed the door again. What? That's just really rude. They should not have done that. They were trying to let him in to trap him in. No, we're going to break down that front gate. When it comes to my units, we have one group of marauders who are now broken. I didn't use my light of battle in time. Otherwise, they would have been unbreakable. Here's Vogon and Egrimm. They're moving in with our Chaos Spawn to go help out at the gatehouse. We're going to break it down eventually. Over here, my Chaos Marauders who are fighting their dark shards on the walls. They are getting stronger, finally. It took them time, but I noticed they're now beginning to rally up their armies. They're beginning to really engage me and challenge me. I was hoping that would never happen, but it's happening now. Here we go. Barona's Time Warp. 26 to melee attack, plus 24% to speed. 60 melee attack total for my marauders who are being shot the hell up right now. Well, that's really alright. There's my Terror Wing still attacking too at 62 kills. A lot of these Dark Shards are dead. This group over here killed over 70 of my warriors. How rude. You're not gonna stop the ultimate book nerd Egrimm from collecting books, alright? It's been a bit since I've been able to really focus on what the Dark Elves... I like how they're all looking at the ground. None of you look very confident about your battle. Come on, cheer up. You get to die to me. It's a good thing, right? Okay, maybe not. But no, they do have 41 melee attack. That is a lot of melee attack. But now it's time to bring in more of my army. A few more. I've got to climb up onto the walls to help me attack, and that'll be another group of Chaos Marauders again who have 25 melee strength, or sorry, weapon strength. That gate is about to be broken down, then we get to move in to fight some Corsairs, some blasted Corsairs. It's about time to get rid of all of them. And it's open. We've opened the door. Knock, knock. Hello there. It's me. Hi, hi. Ahoy, ahoy. We're about to just break down all of them. That's what my Chaos Spawn like to say whenever they break open doors. Ahoy, ahoy. Oh, look at that. They've got some Dread Spears, and I'm sure my Chaos Spawn will eventually lose quite a bit of health. Yeah, they have enough numbers here to keep us back. And naturally, they have a ballista. Oh, that's a nasty one. You really did not like that elf, huh? No, he did not. We're going to need a great name and backstory for our freaking Chaos Giant. For me, they have a lot of personality for a large unit. That's why they're so much fun to use. Oh. Yeah, they're gone. And look who it is right over here. Egrimm. Never too far from the front lines. We're using a Spirit Leech because, hey, why not? It's still some damage. It might not be that effectual, but I've got so much magic, I might as well use it. You can see where my units are right now. My Chaos Marauders are trying to fight their way through. It's a very hard fight. It's really the first battle where they've been able to challenge us appropriately. They're dealing so much damage. They've already cut down a lot of my poor Marauders. I'm sure the High Elves are like, yeah, man, we're glad all of that is happening. Not a problem. And who do we have over here? More Chaos Spawn again. But we're bringing in more warriors. Look at what I have now. Censors of Nurgle, Champions of the Raven. They're here to take the place of my Chaos Spawn because they can't do it alone. We need some typical infantry to help us out. There's Egrimm still fighting. There's still a lot for me to take on. But so far, it's working out. Let's have a look at how many kills. Egrimm's only at 8 right now. He's actually fairly tough in melee combat. I was really shocked about that. There's another Shim's Burning Gaze. He's at 12 kills now. My Giant's at over 50 kills. On the walls, we're finally beginning to make some headway. Like over here is where we're beginning to slowly win. It is taking some time. It hasn't been easy. But we're getting up there. Climbing up these stairs and hacking down some enemies. Man, I could use a chivalry-like game, but themed around Warhammer. If you want to have some Warhammer games, man, I'm telling you, quit letting everyone slice apart that pie. You can have some really cool games. I would get the chivalry guys or even the Mordhau guys and be like, look, here's what you can do. Here's what you can use. How cool would that be? I think it would be very cool. We're finally breaking through the front gate. I've been able to surge in enough units, though they do have that ballista still attacking us. So I'm sure we'll lose a few important things, but that Chaos Giant's keeping it quite busy. Nice swing, buddy. You missed. It's not even a large garrison, but somehow they were just really hard to beat. The garrison itself has been pretty challenging. Over here, we've got the Demon Spew. They've got freakish mutations, and right now they're regenerating health. It's a great way to keep them going. They've got 2 special abilities, one to like deal more damage and to potentially instantly kill a foe. But that regeneration is so powerful, you could keep them going for a long time just by popping that up. So the Demon Spew are very good at using that. They're at 50 kills now. They have finally broken through the wall's defenses. I mean, we were here for a long time trying to beat these Black Art Corsairs. It took a very long time, but we're finally doing it. There's not much left on the walls. We've had all these units climb up. And over here, we had a little surprise waiting. The gate is broken. Now look at who gets to move in. Egrimm van Horstmann is one step closer to his prize. There's only a few left in their town square. Their leader has how many kills now? 1 kill. The Flock of Change just moved in, so maybe he got one of the knights. I don't really know. Yeah, right over there probably. But the battle's over. We have now taken a major city from the Druki. It's over. Here's a close victory. We did lose 2 groups of marauders, but my God, we won. We lost 421 warriors. They lost over 1,000. Let's burn them down. Look at all that favor pouring in. Here's a zealot. I'm my master's tool, my god's vessel. Use me. Okay, buddy, calm down. We're not a Slaneshi cult. And we have upgraded our trait again to its final form. Annihilator. Lord of this wasteland where my word is law, my bedfellows pestilence, famine, and war. Okay, now while we are here, we can patch up again. We need to. Pretty soon I'll be pretty ready for my new army. Okay, you're currently rank 11, spell familiar. Oh yeah, right. I mean, they gave it to me, which is weird. I don't know if they were meant to do that. Okay, apprentices over here, or the Cabal again. That would give me more leadership, but I would like some more magic. Magic would be great. Yeah, but Champion of Tzeentch. Oh, right. I've got to put 1 more in. I need it. I'm going to get it. All right, we'll take that. Time for more corruption to spread around. Yeah, whenever I get a Chaos Sorcerer up, I mean, they're going to be at a very high level. I'm going to try to build it up as quickly as possible. I want you to probably stay on foot until I can get your Manticore. But you can take Evasion. +5 to melee defense and a bit more speed. Okay, now while we are here, we need to recruit 2 new units. I have no new regiments of renown to pick up. But I can pick up more Chaos Warriors, which sounds pretty good to me. So we'll have only 1 group of Marauders. That's alright, I suppose. Yeah, they'll be good good warriors. Very good warriors. Harganeth, you're really the last one I need to go after. The Great Arena. Yeah, you're right over here. Or I could finish off Grand. Maybe I'll finish off Grand. We could always ignore her, but no, I feel the need to destroy the crone. I don't know why, I just do. Here's another recruiting shortage. My God. That isn't good. Fortunately, we do have our new units in, and pretty soon we'll have some new buildings. Okay, Harganeth, what do you have? You're still building up your army. I'm still trying to replenish my own. Yeah, looking right over here. Are you back, Crone? Oh, she's back. And look at all those Black Ark Corsairs. Now, I will need a siege tower to take her down. I really, really will. For my horde upgrade? No, I don't really want anything at all. What about my other rights? Okay, so I need a Chaos Rift. I need pledges to the Dark Gods. Gotcha. And over here, I need one book. Thralls of the Cabal gather an army near your faction leader's horde to wreak havoc among the foes of Cabal. Really? That's really cool. Hey, I like that. The crone is still around, and she has another group of the Sisters of Slaughter. In addition to artillery and many Black Ark Corsairs, it's not going to be an easy battle for me, but if we win, we'll be one step closer to the capital of the Druki. Then we'll gain more power. If we go look over here, they have a lot of dark shards. So part of my master plan was to move from over here to the right of the map. Sure, a few might die from their towers, but then I can climb up without having to be shot at by dark shards too. The dark shards are a bigger threat. The towers will always take down a few, sure, but dark shards would be able to completely obliterate entire groups after a few volleys. And if they begin to move down, I'll have time to get to the walls. Because we did lose a few groups of Chaos Marauders, I now have Chaos Warriors, and these guys are very strong. They've got 60 weapon strength, 15 for a charge bonus, 90 armor, over 100 leadership. They're trucks. Chaos Warriors come alive in the midst of bloody battle, thriving on the slaughter of similar foes. 4 groups total, all charging in. If I lose a group, so be it. Back here, they've got, what, Dread Spears? We're looking at Dark Shards. We've got the Crone. I don't want to fight her again. That's why I'm here, to destroy her. I mean, look at her. Terrifying. Anyone who has hair like that and can move like that, I don't want to be near. Then later, when they move away from the front gatehouse, I can move in more units to break down that gate. But here comes my Chaos Warriors right now. Thankfully, they do have shields, and already I've lost quite a few warriors. That's really unfortunate. But for what few remain, they can hold on for a long period of time. There's my Terror Wing. They used a Dark Conduit, so he went down from like 1800 health to 1300. 10 killed. But at the very least, it was used on my Manticore and not my infantry. That would have been much worse. Now we get to charge in. Even a few warriors can change the entire tide of a battle when it comes to chaos. The Bleak Swords are like, oh boy. Dark Shards, I don't know what they can do. Not too much in melee. I mean, if they shot point blank, sure. Those formations, whenever they use their bows or their crossbows and their shields, it looks really cool. I've always been a very large Druki fan. Back in the day, I was a huge Malice Darkblade fan. If you want to get edgy, let me tell you. That's all about Malice Darkblade. It's in the name. But no, they're very fun. I got into Evil probably before I got into any other type of book theme for Warhammer. But there we go. My Chaos Warriors are now fighting them on the walls. I'm sure those Dark Shards will continue to attack. Usually I wait for all of my units to get here onto the wall before I send them down, but they've got to go in now. We've got to engage all of them right away. So here we are, charging right in. Heavy armor, heavy blows. The Manticore is still attacking. We've killed a lot of these units on the walls. I'm sure some of it is from friendly fire. We have our Chaos Giant now moving to the front gate, and I have my Hell Riders also helping out. Oh, that's just a little bit extra. Come on. Yeah, break it, please. If you don't mind. So that's what we have going on right now. There's 2 groups of theirs who have broken. My Manticore is at over 800 health, 75 kills. My warriors are now moving in again. They have many Dark Shards left, so I've got to do all that I can to engage, overcome, destroy, degrade and destroy. That is my goal. Terror Wing lives up, I mean, truly to its name. My God, in like every single battle, it's been able to wreak some measure of devastation upon my enemies. It's been pretty awesome. 50 kills. Oh, that's what got them. The blasted dark conduit, not their metal in combat. No, it was sorcery, which is funny considering the faction that I'm playing right now. But now we have very few warriors left. But again, they have such high leadership. They're still fighting and they're still a threat. But now they need reinforcements. Here comes another group to help out. My manticores moved back here to distract a few more of their dark shards. And on the walls, what do we have over here? A Spirit Leech on these Black Ark Corsairs. We're just trying to deal damage. There's Vogon at 9 kills. The second cohort, Fallen Guard, are at over 70 kills now. And Egrimm van Horstmann only at 3 kills, but he's still bringing up some soldiers. The front gate is now broken, so we get to move in. Hell, it's about time. It is about time. There they all are. Oh, we're gonna adapt, overcome, and destroy today by using a big club. We're a very smart faction. We use our big chaos brains. And bat. Screw that one elephant in particular. Later, pal. You can see how many they have at the front gate. Now let's go check on a different portion of our battle. Now that we're over here, we'll be moving more units into the front gate, like my Demon Spew, who have 68 weapon strength. They have a melee attack of 53, so they have a very high chance to hit anyone. They're horrific. They've been blessed by the gods. They'll never have to buy shoes again. Censors of Nurgle also moving in. They can provide a nice debuff to my foes. And over here we have Greld's Surgeons. These are chosen, 70 weapon strength, 20 for a charge bonus. If we look at what they have over here, 36 armor piercing damage, plus 8 to large units. And they have a physical resistance of 5%. We've got our Champions of the Raven. Everyone is moving in. Now I've taken all my units on the walls, outside of a few, and they've charged in too. We're trying to help out. We're trying to get rid of what they have here. A bunch of Dark Shards and other units. It's only one faction. It's only been episode 1 and we've nearly wiped out a great bulk of the Druki. I don't even know what that would do to the overall balance of the game if you got rid of like a majority of the Druki, or if you got rid of the Druki completely. I have a feeling the High Elves would just destroy the world. I don't think I'll destroy all of Wolf of Wand. Well, who knows? I might have enough favor by then to afford another army. If I can do that, oh boy. Instead of sailing down, I might conquer my way down. I'll just burn things on the way down. They have Sisters of Slaughter here also fighting. You can see how many units I've moved in. We're slowly pushing them back. Look at what they have back over here. A Spirit Leech on the Crone, damaging her from afar. She's got 79 for melee attack. Over 600 weapon strength, my God. No wonder she hurts. Sisters of Slaughter have only 11 left. They killed over 40 of my warriors, but I have more moving in right now. They're about to be overwhelmed by might, by brawn, by crazy people. These other Black Ark Corsairs, well, they're not long for the world. Go with Cain, go with Cain. All of you. Cut to the heck. Doom and Darkness. A good ability to use if you want to break a group quickly. I do use it. Not all the time, but I do use it. It's nice to have a lot of things to help decrease the overall cost of spells so that I actually use them more to provide more magic, because you end up using like the same low cost spells because you don't want to just lose all of your magic and not have a big impact. But those little things can make a big difference. Everyone is still attacking and fighting at the front gate, but we're slowly pushing them back. They had me push back, but look at how many we've killed. I mean, it's a little bit easier to notice my own corpses because, well, there's a lot more flesh showing. You can grab them, I believe in you. There's a good stomp. There's a really good stomp. With every moment that passes on, we kill more of them. You can see how few we have left of our Chaos Warriors, but they're moving in now, going towards the town square. back here, well, our Manticore had to leave the map, but we've got our leaders fighting the Dark Shards. They got 15 kills, that's why they had to go. But 2 spellcasters can still bring down the hurt. Oh, they're in sync now. They're like best buds. They're like, yeah, let's go be evil, Vogon. Yeah, why not? Let's go crush a few flowers. Take a baby seal. Well, in Warhammer, it probably has like 20 heads or something crazy and eats puppies. Who knows, man? Anyway, there's our Chaos Giant. Again, having a fun time. 94 kills. A Chaos Giant is fantastic to have. And also, as stubborn, unit may recover from a morale shock, unbreakable. Interesting. Disabled if leadership is high. Yeah, it's stubborn. It'll stay. Most of them are now dead. The Crone is still here. That Ballista's been attacking the entire time at 9 kills. But they're breaking. Oh, that was a point blank shot right over here, taking down one of my knights. That was pretty dirty, by the way. Not too happy you did that. But the battle's over. The Crone is lost. She's done. We've killed the Crone. No more G-MILF. We did it. We won. It wasn't easy, but we damn well won. We gained a lot of loot again, a lot of favor. Goodbye now. The Crone is no more. Sure, that would be a lot of magic, or favor, but I don't want that. Mission completed. A spell shield gain +5 to melee defense and 15% to magic resistance. Not bad. Arganeth, you're gone. We've gained a new trait, Executioner, -2 to their leadership and -3 to their public order. Now I get to patch up. No one was completely wiped out. That's a good thing. We're not quite at a new level yet, and we can get our Ruinous Warhost already. If we do that, we won't have to worry about it ever again. Sure, we need a little bit more growth for other buildings, but I think that'll work out just fine. And if you look at what I have right now, I've got so much. I do not want a new Lord yet. Eventually, I will get one. I'm not sure if I'm going to get another Spellcaster or not. I'll probably not get another Spellcaster, only because of the fact that we can get very high-leveled Spellcaster heroes. And that should do it. But then again, using 2 is actually pretty viable. It can work out. It's working out here. But for now, we shall call it here. Thank you for watching. We have fought so many battles. It's been the bloodiest campaign I've ever had. And now we just need to move over here to the west to go to destroy another faction at the Great Arena. Then finally, we can get ready to go after Naggarond. It's about to get much worse for all of them. And because they're not fighting me yet, I could ambush their city, burn it down, then move to a new area. We shall see in time. We might even burn down more locations close by. When it comes to my victory objective, how many have I burned down? 8 out of 50. I do need to destroy the Dark Elves and the Lizard Men, so I might even do that for a short campaign victory. But it's really up to all of you on where I go next, so let me know. Now, if it's too far, then I'll have to make sure that I get some books on the way there. So like if I travel down, I'll probably get the book from the Dark Elves, go get the one from the Lizard Men later, then move over to Ulthuan for a little while, then maybe move on a little bit more to Bretonia, and who knows where else I'll go after that. I mean, there's a few other locations, but the Black Tower of Arkan is really powerful for my Chaos Sorcerer Lords and Heroes. My god, +10 to melee defense, weapon strength goes up, but their miscast chance goes down by a further 50%. Now that's really good, but it's really far from where I'm at right now. So do leave a like down below, everyone. If you want to name a hero, lord, character, unit, or even location, you just have to be a patron. It's $1 a month, which goes a long way to support me. I want to thank all of you for watching and look forward to more content tomorrow. Until then.